and Patrick. I mean, give it to the rest of us who have a miserable marriage and live in a miserable place, a miserable life.
The bathroom. I saw it. Gino and you aren't staying together?
We don't really even sleep together right now in our house. It's that the only way I can sleep in the bed with you is that we have sex.
Yes, that's an ultimatum.
And
so here's the thing, straight off the bat, Gino, Jasmine into the house. The first thing that Jasmine is upset about is that Patrick and Thais got there first, because that means they got to pick the best room out of them all. But it's crazy though. Why would you want the best room if you know that you and Gino aren't even intimate anyway? You know what I mean? What would you want all that space for Gino to sleep on the floor? Or wherever he's going to sleep? I mean, listen, really and truly, it's not that deep. A room is a room. And to be honest with you, this whole house looks absolutely phenomenal. So regardless of what room you get, no one should be complaining. You know what I'm saying? That's just the grand scheme of it. But I will say this though, I do feel sorry for the people that have to clean that place after they all left, because I can't imagine what kind of dump some of those couples are going to leave it in with just the level of toxic energy that they all have. You know what I mean? But with that being said though, let's get into this bit here. Gino and Jasmine, first thing we're learning, well, I say it's the first thing, the thing that we're relearning is that they are still in the same place they were in before, and that is the place of lack of intimacy. And that's why Jasmine is like, listen, boom, I don't want to be in the same room as you because we are not sleeping together. And to be honest with you, that is something that is going to be very key to the rest of this video. So let's continue.
you can't like force it on me.
I'm not forcing, I'm just establishing my conditions, and I don't think that there's nothing wrong.
I personally agree with that. End of the day, she's obviously establishing what she likes, what she would like from her man, and right now her man is not doing that. Okay, and that is pretty much not giving the interview that she desires, which is still very, very odd to a lot of us, because make it make sense. You know, why would you marry someone that you don't want to sleep with? That makes no sense whatsoever. So the fact that he went off and married Jasmine, regardless of the fact that he doesn't want to marry her, and the fact that he keeps using arguments as a reason, it doesn't make any sense. There's obviously more to the story when it comes to Gino's behavior, and to be honest, I really hope that it gets exposed more in terms of Gino's behavior rather than Jasmine's behavior, because I feel like Jasmine's behavior has been very clear from the get-go, but Gino's one has been pretty much hidden, and it's about time that it got exposed. Because for me personally, something ain't right and something ain't making sense. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, this isn't about whether Jasmine looks great or not. The general fact is that when a man decides to marry a woman, he marries her because anytime that she wants to get down, he's gonna want to get down, point blank period. Whether you're in a bad mood or not, he's gonna pipe it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if a man is upset with you, he's still gonna give it a pipe. Why? Because at that moment in time, he's gonna give it a pipe like you've never had it before. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna give you the pipe as if he's giving you a freaking ass whooping because he's so pissed with you. You know what I mean? Bo, 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 bo. Without the sound effects, of course. Yeah. And of course, if he's in a good mood, he's gonna give you that deep soul loving. You know what I'm saying? A man ain't never ever gonna avoid being down in that pum pum, unless of course he's getting it elsewhere, which of course goes back to what Jasmine's been saying, and that is that Gino has an addiction with pornography. So maybe that is the case, but either way though, for me personally, I don't know how any man in this world can be more satisfied by an image of a video rather than the actual feeling of the warmth of a woman's succulent, juicy. You get the point. Let's move on.
Sex life like?
Well, honestly, there hasn't been much of it.
When we want to have sex, I'm like, yeah,
Let's go.
no, like I don't. There's no like, there's no. Oh, we were fighting. I don't like you. I'm like, nope.
Not
See? You see? The man them know. But to be fair, I found something very interesting about Kobe this episode. He asks every couple pretty much, what's your sex life like? Are you guys having sex? It's like he had this fixation to find out about everyone's sex life this episode. It was very, very creepy, to be honest with you. I don't know why Kobe kept asking that. Probably because the producer probably kept asking him to ask people. What he says to Sophie and Rob, that was wild, but we'll get there when we get there, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's continue.
even close.
The yelling and fighting gets to you?
Well, no, I've never had this much yelling and fighting in my life. Not even close.
Because you enter the room.
So before we even get into this bit here, let's go back to that yelling and fighting. It's not even close. Listen, like I said before, I tell you this now 100%. You see, if I've got a girl now, right, and we've had a dispute, we're not on good terms, you know what I'm saying, okay? But she still wants the pipe. Understand, every man will give you the pipe like he's punishing you. And let's be real, that's why people love that flipping makeup sex, you know what I'm saying, okay? Because women love it. I mean, of course, unless, of course, you're a woman who likes it soft and is like, oh, no, that's too much, that's too deep, oh, it hurts, da, 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 and I mean, that just sucks. I'll be honest with you know what I'm saying? But women who don't mind it, who like it all the way, you know what I'm saying? And that's why people always generally make up after having intimacy. Hence why when you look at Manuel and Ashley's relationship, the reason why these two are still together is because each time they have makeup sex, clearly Manuel's going in there with an agenda. You know what I mean? He's like, man, this crazy woman is based me out, man. Let me go and get my gun. Let me go get my gun. Let me go drill this woman. You know what I'm saying? That's why Ashley's always coming out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like sometimes I be thinking that Ashley be making these arguments on purpose because she knows what Manuel's gonna give to her. Boom, 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 boom. You get the point, but we continue.
Close.
Because you entered the room being super rude to me. I don't feel comfortable undressing in front of you, and I needed my privacy.
See, this is very key. Why would she feel uncomfortable dressing or being undressed around her husband? Because he has not touched her. And let's be real, we know Jasmine has she has a lot of insecurities, you know what I mean? She suffers a lot with insecurities regarding herself. So it does make sense for Jasmine to be in a position where she's going to feel as if she doesn't want her man to see her anymore, because if he doesn't want to see her when she wants to be intimate, well then why should he see it in any other capacity? If anything, it could even be like a tease, you know, knowing that when she takes off her dress or whatever clothes she's got off, she's probably thinking, hey, I'm expecting him to want to jump at me because look at all the work that I've done on myself, regardless of the botch. But hey, we won't talk about that. But the fact that he still looks at her and he's like, yeah, I still don't want to touch you. I can understand her being like, well, in that case, you just don't get to see me at all. It does make sense. It does make a lot of sense. But anyway, we continue.
Gino, be intimate with Jasmine. Be intimate with Jasmine. Why aren't you intimate with her? Have sex with Jasmine. Why aren't you sleeping with Jasmine? This is why.
Listen, end of the day, this on this season, they ran with the storyline. The reason why he's not touching her is more because of his online addiction. Which is why, hey, I would hate to see what's in his computer. I mean, listen, but here's the thing though, right? Gino has had a history of being with women that he has found on websites or found in clubs or whatever, okay? Women that basically he's had to pay, basically, right? To be with them in a nutshell. That's just the grand scheme of it. But those relationships have always had an expiry date at some point. Whether it's been him leaving or it's them leaving, they've had one for a reason. Now, the reason could be the fact that maybe his money run out and those women were like, well, now your money's gone. We don't need to be together. Or some of the women generally left him because he just wasn't compatible in the bedroom. He claims the fact that he used to have this great sex life in his past relationships, which doesn't make any sense, because if he did, then why did his relationship go downhill? Now, I'm not saying that because the sex would have been good in those past relationships, that the relationship was necessarily healthy. I'm just saying, to be honest with you, based on the fact that he's always going for the same type of women that generally have a high sex drive, something tells me that he's always been like this, and something tells me that maybe he just wants a wife to just basically cover up what he's really, really hiding, whatever that may be. I mean, let's be real. We live in a world where there's some men out here who happily go out there and seek a trophy wife, and that's just the grand scheme of it. And I guess everyone's version of a trophy wife maybe just be different. Maybe his version is, I need a wife to make me look like I'm that guy, but in reality, I don't want to touch her. I'd rather be touching myself. Oh, yikes, that is crazy. It's crazy though, because on one storyline, we got Rob's friends are talking about how he's living every guy's dream, going to a club and the women want him. Meanwhile, we got Gino over here who's living a life that every man would hate to live, and that is the life of not being intimate with your woman. Meanwhile, Rob is out here struggling to smash flipping Sophie. What the hell is going on here? Make it make sense. Either way, though, let me know your thoughts, let me know your opinions, and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.